but I always had a love for cooking. And so I decided to get married, and I had to figure things out because we had to eat, right? I didn't know how to cook at all, not even a little bit. Well, I take that back. We did fried chicken and things on campus. We did those things, but I had a lot of learning to do. And so I did a lot of watching Food Network, trying things out, and it stuck. So officially in 2006, I started cooking as a business, and I just started off baking, actually. And then a few years later, I decided to start cooking. 2019. Also, let me say I am a mom. I have a 15-year-old and I have a son who is no longer with us. But when he passed away, that kind of triggered my, this might be something I need to do again. So I am happy to be with you ladies and gents. I think I saw a gent on here also. But I'm happy to be with y'all tonight because we are going to vibe. Right now, I host events throughout the year, mainly in the summertime. When we had the pandemic, I turned my backyard into an oasis, like a private dining situation. And so it just naturally evolved. And so people kept asking, Kid, when you gonna cook again? When you gonna cook again? And so I just kept it going. And I have a following. We're called the Vibe Squad. So the Vibe Squad is always about good food, no judgment, and having a good time. So that's what I can promise y'all tonight, that we are going to learn to cook some good food. We are not going to judge everyone. You at your own learning curve. Like I said, I had to learn things, so I'm okay. We're gonna be patient with everyone tonight. And I believe it is going to be recorded, but we're going to learn how to do something a little cute and fancy for the holidays. We always don't want to do the turkey. We just had Thanksgiving, so we don't want to do the turkey dressing all the time. So this is just something a little bit different. We're going to do surf and turf mac and cheese. So still traditional, but with a little twist on it. For those that weren't able to do the turf, is there anyone that is not able to do the, not the turf, the surf, the shrimp? Is there anyone that chose to do the chicken instead? So I'll know how to guide you to.
Yes, I'm doing shrimp and salmon.
Okay, so whenever I do, whatever I do to the shrimp, you're gonna do the same thing to the chicken, okay, or the salmon.
Okay.
Okay. And so we are going to get started. Now, we are going to make a compound butter. If you've never heard of it, all it is just butter with flavor. Okay, so you can either buy it at the store for $4, might be more, and this is all you're gonna get. Okay, butter with flavor, but we're gonna make our own tonight. All right, so if you are ready to get cooking, we're gonna get right into it. And you have a stick of butter. I have a little bit more because I need this for tomorrow too. I got a catering event. We're gonna kill two birds. So we're gonna take our softened butter. Everyone got your butter? Yep. All right, just follow along. And you're gonna put it in a bowl. And for the most part, this is gonna be the base for most things that we cook tonight. We are doing surf and turf mac and cheese. We are doing mixed vegetables. And we're gonna do a spinach Alfredo dip with the bread as just something as a starter. Something easy during the holidays. Doesn't cost a whole lot, but it's cute, right? So we're gonna take our butter, and then, where's the garlic? We have our minced garlic. You can chop your own fresh garlic. You can choose to use minced garlic. You can press some garlic, but I'm cheating tonight. We're using minced garlic, okay? Just take maybe a tablespoon of that. If you don't like garlic, not heavy on the garlic, you use what you like. That's also something that I've learned. You cook to how you like to cook, okay? So the seasonings that I mentioned, I did put on there, use whatever all-purpose seasoning you like. You cook to how you like to eat. So that's another thing that I've learned, that I know how I like to eat. So that's how I'm gonna cook. No one's gonna judge me from that. Okay. So we're gonna take our.
He had a question. Should the butter be softened?
It should be. So if your butter isn't softened, go ahead and put it in the microwave for 5 seconds, but be careful because we don't want to melt it. But I'm going to keep going, okay? So we put our garlic in there. We're going to chop up some herb. I'm looking at the list that I gave you all too. If you have parsley or cilantro, go ahead and we're going to do that chopping now. Is everybody with me? And just chop up the parsley or cilantro very fine. I have a preference for cilantro. Some people don't like it because it's a really strong flavor. So parsley is something else. It just adds a freshness to your dish with using fresh vegetables. But if you so happen don't have it, use dried. It's okay. All right. And please jump in and ask me any questions, okay? Okay, so I'm going to take about, that's a couple of teaspoons of the fresh cilantro there. I'm gonna put the rest to the side because also that's something that you could use to garnish your food. It's all about presentation too. So we want the flavor. We want it to be easy. It's later, right? We don't want it to take a long time, but we also want it to look nice because you eat with your eyes first, okay? So you just dump that into the butter, okay? We need.
So Kia, I do have a question.
Sure.
With the ingredients that you gave us with the serving size, how much would you get out of using the Zeta measurements that you gave us?
So the serving size for those ingredients is going to be about 2 to 3 people, and it's really up to you and how much you eat. But about 2 to 3 people, it'll stretch. Okay, I think, oh, there it is, my lemon. We're gonna take that lemon. And we're just gonna chop up, well, cut the lemon in half. And I learned a trick about lemons and limes, and y'all probably know because y'all in California, but the less bumpy it is, the more juice it has in it. And we're just gonna squeeze maybe 2 tablespoons of lemon juice in there, okay? So pretty much half of that lemon. All right, everybody with me? Yes, no, maybe so. All right, crowd. All right, now we're gonna season it with our dry seasonings. This is one of the things I love. I don't like the pepper that's already ground up that look like sand. So if you can, go ahead and get you one of these pepper grinders. Doesn't have to be a fancy one, just a pepper grinder. So you get some fresh ground pepper. So we're gonna take a little bit of the pepper in there. And again, this is to how you like it, but if you want a specific measurement, about a teaspoon of pepper, just a teaspoon.
We do have a question. It says, can it be made without lemon?
Yes, you don't have to use lemon. Remember, this is what you like. So if you don't care for lemon, don't put it in there. It's just.
And how much? Sorry.
I'm sorry.
How much? How much of the parsley should go inside?
So we're gonna do 2 teaspoons of the parsley.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I just put some all-purpose seasoning. So whatever all-purpose seasoning you have, go ahead and put a teaspoon of all-purpose seasoning in there. Okay. So that's compound butter. So what you would pay $4 to $5 in the store for, we just made our own. And you could put other things like chopped onions. If you like a little bit spicy, you could put cayenne pepper in there. But for the purpose of tonight, this is all, we're gonna make it really simple. And we want it to sit. It's really best, like if you're doing this for an event or something, if it sits overnight, it's really good. And you can even freeze it, make it and freeze it and put it in, wrap it up into roll it out into a log, wrap it in plastic wrap and put it in the freezer. And it'll stay. But we're just gonna mix that up. It should look like that. About that consistency. And set it to the side. All right, ready to move on? I just need one yes.
I don't think they're ready.
Ready.
You got a question?
Yes. The compound butter, can you also use butter alternatives?
Yes. So that's a good thing. It really doesn't matter if you use margarine. There's a vegan butter. I actually like vegan butter because it has a stronger butter flavor without the dairy. But if you prefer to use an alternative, go ahead. Okay. We ready to move on? So does everyone have a pot with water to boil our noodles? We want to get those noodles boiling, and preferably with the lid. Turn that water on high heat. And so, because you're gonna see what we do to our noodles, usually our grandmas, our moms told us, you see it on TV, they tell you to add salt to the water. I'm gonna tell you not to do that. And you'll find out why. But we just want water in the pot for boiling for your noodles. And preferably with the lid because it boils faster with the lid. Okay? We're good? Yes? All right. I think I got a thumbs up from somebody. All right. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to prepare our veggies. While we're here, we're just going to go ahead and do all our chopping. So did everyone get the veggies on the list? The color pepper, the zucchini, and the onion? Whatever veggies you have, that's what you're cooking tonight. But it's all pretty much the same technique. And I'm not cooking a lot because it's just me and it's late. But whatever you got, that's what you cook, okay? So I'm taking my zucchini first. And I'm just cutting it. I already washed it. If you haven't washed it, go ahead and wash it. And we are going to, I cut mine in half because I'm not making the whole thing. And then I took that half and I chopped that in half.
Real quick, somebody wants to know about the noodles. Do we add noodles now or wait till the
No.
water boils?
No, we're gonna wait till the water boils. But make sure you turn it on high, put that lid on so that water could get boiling. We just want to do that so we can keep things going. All right, so is everyone chopping? This is the size of our zucchini. Thickness, size. So what I did was I took the zucchini, it's already washed. I sliced that in half because I'm not cooking the whole thing. And then I sliced that half in half, lengthwise, like that. And then just chop, chop, chop. So it's easy to chop. Here we go, we're chopping. All right. So that's the zucchini. If you have more, continue chopping your zucchini. And then the colored pepper. This is for our vegetable medley. If you don't have these vegetables, if you have zucchini, broccoli, whatever, you could use that. Same thing, you just probably don't have to chop it if you already have them already chopped. But for the pepper, let's see, let's do this one. I've already washed my veggies. You want to make sure you wash them really well. Then we're going to cut the top off like that. We're not going to waste this top. There's still good pepper on this top. And we're just going to chop it like that. Chop it around the stem part. All the way around it in strips, like that thick. Then we can get rid of that. Put that in a bowl. Now, a trick for cutting peppers. So it's this glossy side, the outside of the pepper, and then the inside. Once you cut it open, if you don't have the sharpest of knife, it's kind of hard to cut the shiny side. So just turn it over and cut this part, the inside of it. Way easier, especially if you don't have a sharp knife, a really sharp knife. Hope you got a sharp knife. And we want strips like that. Okay, so I know I don't have a lot and someone else might have more. So I'm gonna give y'all some time, but I need one okay that we're able to move on. Okay, who's gonna be my okay?
I'm good. I'm ready.
Okay, we're ready. We're moving on to the red onion then. The red onion. Now, I like the red onion for the color. Red onion is going to be a little bit stronger of a flavor. You can choose to use shallots. You could use a white onion, a sweet onion, whatever you prefer. But I use red onions for my mixed vegetables for the color. And I do like to have a little bit of a stronger flavor for those mixed vegetables. But if you're not a fan of onion, you can go ahead and do without it. Salads would be a little less of a strong flavor, won't be so intense. Or the sweet Vidalia onions, those will be a good option also. Won't be so strong. All right, so how I chop my onion, I cut both of the sides off of it, right? And then it looked like this. And then I cut that in half. Now I'm going to put it lengthwise here, and then I'm just going to chop because we want things to be the same size for the cooking time. We don't want them too thin, unless that's what you prefer. They're your onions. I'm not gonna judge. All right. So you put just a half an onion based off of how many peppers. So if you use the whole pepper, go ahead and use the whole onion. If you don't like a lot of onion, don't put a lot of onion. But we're gonna put those in the bowl with the rest of our veggies. All right. All right, I need one more. I'm ready to move on. We ready? Okay, everybody can do this. Go to your oven, turn it on preheat for 350 degrees. We want to get that going too. All right, we ready? I need one, okay. Yes, no, maybe so.
And I'm ready.
All right, so we are going to season. Now, understand, right now we're just doing the prep. So when we get to the stove, we're gonna mean business when we get to that stove, to the oven and the stove. But now we're gonna prep. We want to take our steak. Now, one thing that I may have left out, if you have a steak, it's always better to cook it at room temperature. So leave it out for about 20 minutes before you start cooking it. If you didn't, it's okay. It's fine. It's still gonna be good. But if you want the good juicy with the good crust on it, go ahead and leave it at room temperature. We're gonna take the steak. I've already rinsed it off, and make sure you pat it dry really well. I'm using a ribeye steak with a bone in. Now, if you're using a different type of steak that doesn't have a bone, it might not take as long to cook. The cooking time is going to depend on the thickness of your steak and whether it has a bone in it, and really what type of pan you have. I prefer cast iron when I'm cooking with steak because you get that good crust and flavor on it from the cast iron. But if you don't, it's okay. We're gonna figure it out and it's still gonna be good. So for our steak, make sure you rinse it off, pat it really dry, and then we're going to season it. We're gonna season it with I mentioned on your ingredient list chicken bouillon. Chicken bouillon is a secret to a lot of things. It just gives it that little bit more of a, okay, what's that? It's something different. So we're going to take a chicken bouillon. Now, I prefer a brand it's called Maggie. I'm in Northwest Indiana, right outside of Chicago. So it's not a whole lot of places, but I've also found it on Amazon. It's Maggi. But whatever chicken bouillon you have, just be careful with it because it can be kind of salty too, okay? So we are going to take about a teaspoon on each side. Now, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all because we're gonna keep it 100 with each other, right? I don't really measure when I'm seasoning, but I'm gonna give y'all some measurements. we season till the ancestors say stop, okay? Because we want it to be seasoned. You want to see the seasoning, but we also want to be mindful and don't want to take the flavor away from the meat. But I'm going to say about a teaspoon of the chicken bouillon because we don't want it to be too salty. That's why I like the Maggi version of the bouillon because it's not really salty. It just adds a good flavor, okay? All right, we back to our pepper grinder. And if you try the fresh ground pepper, over time, you'll notice the difference. It's a difference, even as far as what it looks like. So I am grounding this about 5-6 times because I like it. If you don't like a whole lot of pepper, so some people don't prefer it, just do it about 3 times. But you do want to make sure that you get at least about 2 teaspoons of pepper on there, okay?
Wow.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
And remember, we also have flavor in our butter, and we're gonna use our butter to cook our steak. So it's gonna be seasoned all the way around.
Was someone gonna say something?
Yes, Ryan. So I was the onion. So that's the onion. And so I'm washing my steak off, and now I'm just putting chicken bouillon on both sides, right?
Yes. Did you pat it dry? Make sure you pat your steak dry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now you're gonna do the chicken bouillon, and you're gonna do the pepper, and
Okay.
now I'm doing the all-purpose seasoning.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, can we do
You
a
went too
quick
far.
pause?
It's okay.
Can we do a quick pause? So people can catch up, because obviously people are trying to catch up. We do have our sponsor. She did pop on. I just wanted to honor her time because she's on Eastern Standard Time. I do see some other East Coasters on here, so we appreciate you too. So let me find her. There she goes. Let's let her speak and say hi, and then we
Hi.
will on.
Hi, good afternoon. It's Erica Blunt with Blountwinetherapy. How are you guys? Ladies.
And gentlemen,
Oh, you got gentlemen? Oh, great, great. Good
Yes,
afternoon.
Me too.
Well, I wanted to tell you guys and ladies, thank you so much for supporting Blunt Wine. We are so excited to be part of your team, and anything that you guys need, please call us. Give us about 2 weeks and we'll be here for you. I want to thank my cousin Natasha, especially for even recognizing me and supporting me. And we're out here trying to bless communities with the wine. We do mental health with our wine. So thank you so much. And we are a Zeta supporter. So thank you so much.
thank you. I know it's late over there, but I do appreciate you popping in just for a quick sec and tell my uncle and auntie I said hello.
They hear you. They hear you. They're
Hey. All right. So,
all right, y'all. Good
I
night.
did get my wine.
Oh, it's coming. It's
I
coming.
got
She
it.
ordered-
No, I got it. Look.
Oh, you did? What did you
oh,
get?
wait a minute. Hold on. Let me pull her up. Where'd she go?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Hold on.
So I have Savannah and
Oh, you got Shiraz. Oh, you got your Shiraz in the peach with a note of caramel. Great. Awesome. One night we'll do a whole tasting and I'll let you guys know why I named each one. I have 37 varieties. I'll let you know where the names come from, but they're all types of trauma that I had to overcome in the last 30 years. So we'll talk about that. One night I'll come on when Tasha sets it up for a tasting.
All right.
I'm so excited. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Erica. Have
Okay,
a good
have a great
evening.
one.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, back to you.
All right.
Hopefully everybody's caught up.
all right, are we good? It's about to go fast, but I'm gonna be patient.
So my bouillon cubes are like, they're cubed, right? So they're not like, how do we?
Okay. So if you
Yeah.
have a cube, just take because they just take a piece of it off, maybe about a fourth of it, and then just sprinkle it on your steak.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So is anyone water not boiling? All right. If your water is boiling, go ahead and add those noodles.
Yep, I'm boiling.
All right. We have elbow noodles, but you could use whatever noodles that you like. I will say I've tried different noodles for macaroni and cheese, the spiral noodles, elbow. I understand why our ancestors use elbows for macaroni because they don't dry out a whole lot if you don't cook them too long. and they catch the cheese and everything. So we are going to go ahead and drop our noodles in our unsalted water. Remember, because we're not gonna, we getting older, right? We age and we're gonna be mindful of our salt intake. And once you drop those noodles, go ahead and stir them up so that they don't stick. All right. Once you stir up your noodles, just make sure you have your colander or whatever you're using to drain your noodles on standby. But we'll check on them in a little bit. But we're gonna keep on seasoning our steak because we just did one side. And I don't know about you, but I like to eat both sides. And I like both of the sides of the steak to be seasoned. So that's what we're gonna do. So the same thing you did to the first side, we're gonna do the chicken bouillon, remember? The ground fresh pepper, and then your all-purpose seasoning. Whatever seasoning you prefer, just make sure that it's not too much. I used about a teaspoon. I will suggest a teaspoon of both. I did a little bit more. But if you don't want to be heavy-handed, then it's okay. All right. And whatever seasoning you have, that's what we're gonna use. I also use a little bit of accent. This is very controversial, but I like it. We didn't put salt in the water. Okay, so I saved it. You don't have to use it. All right, so the same thing you did to that first side, we're gonna do to the other side. And it doesn't have to be in the same order. All right. Now we're gonna put our steak to the side. I need somebody to tell me you're okay, and we're gonna move on to our surf or whatever you have as a replacement. And remember, if you are doing salmon or chicken, whatever you season your shrimp with, that's what you're gonna season the chicken or salmon with. I hope everyone thawed their shrimp. Does anyone have shrimp that's already cooked? Okay, good. All right, so what I have here are red gulf shrimp. I just like the flavor of them, but whatever shrimp that you have, I prefer colossal because when you cook them, they shrink just a little bit and you still get nice juicy shrimp. As far as like I asked about if you have the cooked shrimp, I prefer not to use cooked shrimp in dishes like this because we don't want them to be tough. Okay, so we have our shrimp, our thawed shrimp. Make sure that you get as much water out of them as you can. And so remember the other half of that lemon? We're just gonna take a squeeze of that lemon right over your shrimp or your chicken or your salmon. Okay? Just squeeze it. You don't have to squeeze the whole thing, depending on how much shrimp you have. I have 6 here. If you have more, go ahead and squeeze the whole thing in there. All right. Then we're going to take that chicken bouillon. Not too much, maybe a teaspoon. For your chicken, You could do a little bit more, maybe a teaspoon and a half. Fresh pepper. If you notice, I use pretty much the same seasonings throughout. And your all-purpose. Okay. Take a spoon, just mix it all up. We're gonna set it to the side. Did anyone do mushrooms? You did mushrooms? All right. Did you get the whole mushroom or the sliced mushrooms?
Slice.
Okay, cool.
Slice.
All right, y'all one step ahead of me because I gotta slice mine. All right, so we are going to put those in our veggies too. I forgot about our mushrooms. Just throw those in the bowl with your veggies. All right, we ready to cook? Oh, wait, one more thing. Did you guys get a white onion? We need just a little bit, half of it, maybe even a fourth of it. We're gonna chop it up. And then we're going over to the stove. It'll almost be time to eat. It's gonna go fast when we get to the stove.
Kia, can we review the shrimp because we have like connection issues?
Yes. So the shrimp, you're gonna take the lemon, you're gonna squeeze the lemon. Depending on how many you have, half of it, or maybe not quite the half, but you're gonna squeeze the lemon over there. Then you're gonna take the same seasoning that you use for the steak, and then go ahead and season your shrimp.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking the white onion that was also on your list, a fourth of a half of it, and just chopping it up into squares, small squares. It doesn't matter if they're big or not. I'll show you. So like that size, okay? All right, we ready to go to the stove? So the first thing we're gonna do when we get to the stove, I'm gonna take y'all over here with me. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, I have my noodles boiling in the back. We're going to go ahead and stir those noodles. We don't want to overcook them, but just stir them. I got a little bit clump. That's okay. And everybody has a trick to decide how your noodles are cooked. My trick is to try it. They're cooked. Okay. So if your noodles are done, you can go ahead and take those off and drain them and leave them in the column. Just leave them there because we're gonna start cooking. All right. All right. Okay. So The first thing we're going to do is we're going to start our pan for our steak. Now, I'm using a cast iron. Hopefully, is anyone not using a cast iron for your steak? Yes, no, maybe so. I'm gonna get that going on medium heat, maybe medium high, because we want a good crust on the outside of it. So we're just gonna turn that on. We're not putting the steak on yet, though. We're just gonna heat this up. And then if you have some type of pot like this, we're gonna get our spinach dip going for our bread, okay? Everybody tell me when you got your pot.
Okay, Kia, I think I'm behind a couple steps.
Okay, where you at, honey?
So I just finished chopping the white onion.
Okay.
Got the shrimp, got the steak, white onion. Now, what was next?
So, okay, you good. So we just need whatever pan you cooking your steak in, preferably cast iron. Go ahead and get that heated up. Medium, a little bit between medium and medium high.
Okay.
Okay.
I think the noodles might be done.
All right. If you are using,
If I strain the noodles in the pan, or the pot that they're cooking, can I keep them in that?
yes, just
Okay.
make sure the fire is turned off.
Okay.
So those noodles don't stick too much, while we're waiting, go ahead and take just a little bit, a tablespoon of that butter compound mixture that we made, and put them in those noodles and stir it up, okay?
Okay.
Don't rinse those noodles, guys. Don't rinse them. Just stir the butter in there.
Move right now.
And everyone's oven should be on 350. We ready to go? All right. So here we go with our butter again. We're going to take a tablespoon of that butter and we're going to melt it into a pot. We're making the base for our spinach dip. The pot should be on medium heat. We don't want to burn the butter. And if it starts turning brown already, just turn it down a little bit. Once that gets melted, go ahead, those onions that you chop, put that right there in that butter. All right. While those onions are cooking, you're going to put a tablespoon of flour right into the onion, okay? So it's equal part butter to your flour.
I'm sorry, where was the onions and butter going into?
That is into your pot. Did you melt the butter?
So a tablespoon, I think, of the compound. A
A tablespoon of the butter that we made.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Once that
And-
gets melted, go ahead and put your onions in there.
The white. Oh, the red or the white ones, right? This is for the
Yes, the
vegetables.
white ones. I'm sorry.
A little bit more.
And if your butter is turning brown, turn your pot down. You don't want to burn the butter. Now we are going to multitask while we're cooking, okay? That pan for your steak should be ready. Okay? Grab your steak, put it in the pan. I told you I was gonna go fast once we start cooking. Oh, I'm sorry. Put olive oil in your pan. I did that already. I'm sorry, guys. Before you put the steak in, put some olive oil. Just sprinkle maybe a tablespoon of olive oil. That's what you want to hear. Now, in one pot, you should have your butter, a tablespoon of butter, your white onion, and a tablespoon of flour. We're cooking the flour out and we're not burning that butter. Okay. Now, you should have a pint of heavy whipping cream. We want to do half of the pint. Half of your pint of, this is more, because I have an event tomorrow. But you want to take half of your pint. And we're going to pour it right into that onion, flour, butter mixture. I believe it's a cup. Half of that pint will equal a cup. And our steak should be going. We're not going to bother that steak. Don't y'all pick up that steak. Leave it alone. All right. So we put our heavy whipping cream in and we're going to season it now. All-purpose seasoning. That's a tablespoon. Pepper. And we're hitting it with the chicken bouillon again. Teaspoon. And make sure you stir that up. If your heavy whipping cream is starting to boil, turn your fire down. You should hear your steak going too. We don't make sure it's not burning, but leave it alone. It should be on medium. All right. If your heavy whipping cream is boiling, turn it down. Now, the next thing you're going to do is take a cup of the, I'm gonna say about 3/4 a cup. 3/4 a cup, because we're gonna use the rest to sprinkle on top. And put that Parmesan cheese right into your heavy whipping cream. This is the dipping sauce for our appetizer. You're just gonna stir that. You can use a whisk or a spoon until that cheese is melted. All right, you guys ready? We're gonna flip the steak.
Now, do you like your steak medium well or? Well
So this is
done?
gonna be medium well.
Okay.
This is, can you see that, the color? Okay. So we're gonna let it go. And if you want to flip it back over on the other side to cook it some more, that's fine. A lot of times what I will do, and because this will probably be eaten tonight, tomorrow, I'll either put it in the oven to finish cooking, but I don't want to cook it all the way through because I don't want it to be dry when I actually do eat it. All right, so your cream sauce. Should look like that. Okay. If you got your fresh spinach, just go ahead and dump it in there. And it should look like that. Did I lose anybody? All right, we're gonna turn that fire off of the cream sauce because we don't want to burn it. Is everybody okay? Yes, no, maybe so. Angela, I see you going. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this and put it in a bowl, set it to the side. All right. So our cream sauce for our appetizer is set to the side. Okay. Our steak is still going. We flipped it over once. It's still on medium. So medium. Now, have another non-stick skillet. We're gonna take that skillet, our same compound butter. Once it gets heated up, we're gonna take a tablespoon of that butter and put that in the pan. We're gonna do our veggies. So a tablespoon of butter. On medium heat. We're gonna let that butter melt. Brianna, you got it going?
It's a lot going on, but I'm managing.
Okay. We gonna go, we gotta eat. Okay, so do we have our bowl of veggies? Once your butter melts, go ahead and just drop those veggies in there. And once you drop the veggies in, our same base seasoning, all purpose, your pepper, and your bouillon. Now, mixed veggies is actually, when I cater, this is one of my top requested side dishes. It's simple, it's easy to do, but it's really good. You just gonna stir those around in that butter. After you season, keep an eye on your steak. And we're not gonna kill the vegetables to where they're just soggy. We're just gonna get a nice color on the vegetables. And that butter is gonna help give it that color.
We add the onions and the mushrooms, right, to the veggies.
Yes, so you should have pepper. If you did the color pepper,
Okay.
the mushroom, zucchini, and the red onion.
Okay. Yes.
So that's you guys see the color? Hold on, let me get the zucchini. That's the color we're looking for on the zucchini. We're not gonna kill them. Kill the vegetables. If you like yours cooked a little bit done, go ahead, but these are done. I'm just going to take them and put them right in the same bowl that I just chopped them in. Just pour them in the bowl. Don't rinse that pan out because we're about to use this pan again. All right, y'all with me? Did I lose anybody? Vegetables should be done. You might want to check on your steak too. If you want to flip it again, go ahead and flip it again. Is anybody not ready to move on? Are your veggies done? Everybody's veggies done?
No, not yet.
No? Okay. If you are, go turn the fire off so we don't burn that butter in there until we're ready to move on.
Good.
We're 80% done. Brianna got it steamy over there. You gone, girl.
I need a fan. I might need to turn the AC on. I don't know.
Sasha, where you at? Are you cooking? Okay.
Girl, I got the most people on here. They hungry. I gotta get it.
Okay, let me know when you guys' veggies are done so we can move on to the shrimp or the salmon or the chicken, whichever one you guys have. But don't leave that pan. It's flavor all in that pan from those vegetables. You're gonna leave that. If you like your steak medium, take it off now.
Were we supposed to put the mushrooms in with the zucchini and the onions?
The vegetables are the color peppers, zucchini, red onion, and the mushroom.
Okay, I definitely forgot about these mushrooms, but that's all right.
Okay. I need everybody to be at the vegetable point before we go any further. If you are at the point that you can move forward, go ahead and wash that pot out that we did that cream sauce in. We're gonna reuse that pot. We're not making a whole lot of dishes, okay? So if you're at that point, if you're ready to move on to the shrimp or the chicken, go ahead and rinse out that cream sauce pot.
Kia, are we using the vegetable pot for the shrimp or the appetizer sauce for the shrimp?
We are
Which
okay.
pot should
So
we
for
be
the
using?
shrimp, we're using whatever you use to cook the veggies in. Don't wash that out because we're gonna use the flavor that
Okay.
those veggies cook in. But if you're ready to move forward, the pot we made the cream sauce in, because I'm gonna wait till everybody gets to that stopping point. Go ahead and wash out that cream sauce pot. You can put the cream sauce in a bowl for plating, and then just wash that pot out because we'll just reuse that. Okay?
Okay, what are we gonna use that one for?
Huh?
And what are we gonna use that cream pot for?
We're gonna make the base for our macaroni and cheese.
Okay, thanks. So
All right, holla when you're ready to move forward. Not holla, just say hey.
All righty, while everyone's trying to get that together, we're gonna go ahead and do a surprise holiday drawing. And I'm gonna have Sora Mouse. I'm gonna pull it up. And what we're gonna do is, I did it by ticket, so you have to be present. You have to be here, or we're gonna go to another one. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up. So y'all know it's not rigged. We have a wheel. And I put everybody's ticket number on there. Sorry, Miles, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Hey, ladies, one more thing. If you want your steak medium well, turn it off. If you want it well done, keep it going.
All right. Are you ready? Tell me when to push it.
All right, let's go ahead.
Okay, let's see who that is. Let me stop share. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go on the list and find out who that was. Insert find. I think that person is not here. We might need to do it again.
Okay.
Five, 9. Oh, she is here. Okay, I'm gonna give it to 4 miles. Can you check your?
Okay, I see it. Okay, so the winner of our surprise holiday drawing is Angela Scott.
So you will get a $50 Amazon email this evening.
Amen. Hallelujah. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
You ready?
Is everyone ready to move on?
Uh-huh.
We have our veggies, okay. So remember that same pan that we used to cook our veggies? We didn't wash that out. It's still flavor in that pan. So we're just gonna turn it back on to a medium heat. Just a tablespoon of butter, not too much. Tablespoon of butter. Should be a little bit left in there. You can use olive oil too if you don't want to add more butter. A teaspoon of olive oil. But it's a whole lot of flavor in there for those ladies. All right, so let that get melted. And then whether you have shrimp, we're gonna let it heat up a little bit because we want the color. Like when you see food and it has that brown color, it's not burnt, but the goldish brown color on there, that's what we want. And what's gonna help us get there is the flavor that's left in this pan and the butter and the heat. Okay. So we're gonna take our shrimp. If you have chicken, your chicken or your salmon, and we're gonna drop it in the pan and we're gonna let it go. Leave it alone. Don't bother it. Okay. After you drop your protein in the pan, if you didn't get a chance to, go ahead and wash out the pot that we made the cream sauce for the appetizer. Wash that out because we're gonna get our roux for our mac and cheese going. And your steak, it should be done. Unless you want it past well done. It should be done. So you can turn that off. Just set it to the side so it can rest. We have our cream sauce pot. Medium heat, guys, ladies. For that cream sauce pot, our shrimp should be going. We're gonna let it go. Don't turn them because we want color on them. Unless your fire is high, you notice that they're burning. But they should be okay if you just have it on medium heat. All right, ready to go? In your cream sauce pot, we're going to do the same thing as we did as the base without the onion. We're gonna take a tablespoon of that compound butter and let that melt. To a tablespoon of flour. So equal flour to butter. Ongoing debate. Do eggs go in macaroni and cheese? If you want them to, I prefer not to. But this is gonna be our base, so we don't need the eggs in the mac and cheese, okay? So let that butter melt. We can go ahead. And if you notice, I'm multitasking because we gotta get done. Flip those shrimp while that butter melts. They should have a good color on them. That's the color we're looking for. The lighting is bad. There we go. That's the color we should have on those shrimp. Not burnt, but golden brown. In our saucepan, we want to have 1 tablespoon of butter to 1 tablespoon of flour. And make sure we're not burning the butter. So if it starts turning brown, turn your fire down. And you want to whisk the flour into the butter or stir it to make sure that it's all incorporated. And we want to make sure we're cooking the flour out. Not burning it. So if you notice, there are no eggs in this mac and cheese. So if you have shrimp, go ahead and turn that fire off. Leave them in the pan, turn the fire off. If you have chicken or salmon, go ahead and finish cooking it through. Shrimp don't take that long. All right. Everybody with me? Did I lose anybody? If you just had a pint of heavy whipping cream, go ahead and pour the rest of that pint in there. So we're pouring the heavy whipping cream into what we did with the butter and the flour. This is the base for our mac and cheese. And we're going to season it. Black pepper, all-purpose, chicken bouillon. If you're out of chicken bouillon, don't worry about it. So at this point, we should have our oven on 350. We should have our steak cooked and resting. Our shrimp are resting. If you're doing chicken or salmon, it can continue to cook. And we're working on our base for our mac and cheese. If you're not with me, say, hold on. Okay. And nobody said, hold on. So remember that bread? Did you get this bread? If you want to warm it through, you can go ahead and wrap it in foil and put it in the oven. But we're just gonna warm it through so that we can have that ready when everything is done, okay? So I cut mine in half. I'm gonna take the half. Wrap it in aluminum foil. If you like, you still have more of that butter. You're gonna take a little bit of the butter and put right on there. If your cream sauce is boiling, turn it down. You don't have to do the butter part though. We just want to make sure it's warm through. Wrap it in foil. Your oven should already be warm. Fill it up like that. I'm just gonna put it in the oven. Everybody with me? Okay, your cream sauce. Now, I advise the cheeses. The cheeses are sharp shredded cheese, Italian blend of cheese, just start off with maybe half of each of those. So I said 1/8 ounce of the sharp cheese and 1/8 ounce of the Italian blend cheese. So just do half of each of those and go ahead and put that in the cream sauce. You can start off with half. If you feel like once it starts melting, it's still not cheesy enough, you can add more, but we're just gonna start off with half. The consistency should start looking like this. You should get a good cheese boil, and you can turn that fire off too. It should be hot enough to melt that cheese. Everybody with me? Your chicken, if you're doing chicken, that should be done. Salmon should be too. All right, this is what our cheese sauce looks like, guys. If you feel like you need to add more cheese, but you do want to save some for the top. All right. Y'all sweating, y'all look like y'all getting it in. Now, if you feel like your sauce is too thick, it wasn't enough liquid. If you have more liquid, go ahead and add it in there. If you have milk, you can add that to thin it out a little bit, but it should be this consistency. That's what we want. All right. Now, y'all ready? If you did shrimp, go ahead and take half of those shrimp, dump them right in that cheese sauce. If you did salmon, you can leave the salmon out to put it on top because it'll be a nice, cute presentation. If you did the chicken, you can take that and dice it up and put that on the inside. It's up to you. I'm gonna go grab my noodles. Dump your noodles a little bit at a time because you don't want too many noodles. Right into your cheese sauce. And check on your bread. All right. I am going to take the mac and cheese. This is all about presentation. You can take a casserole dish and just pour your macaroni and cheese with the cream sauce in the noodles, pour right in your casserole dish. Be a little bit fancy and put it in the cast iron. Just something that you could play around with.
Okay, so kid, in the cheese sauce should be the shrimp, and then about how much of the noodles?
So you pour, as you pouring, just make sure the noodles are covered. Don't pour all the noodles in at once because it might be too many for your cream sauce.
Okay.
Just make sure that the noodles are covered as you're pouring in. It should look like that. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that reserved cheese that we had, that we put in the cream sauce, and put it right on top. Just sprinkle it on top to cover. And once you put the shredded cheese on top, go ahead and put that in the oven. All right, how's everybody doing? Hi, you okay? The bread should be ready to come out the oven if you haven't already. I just want it toasty brown. Brianna, you all right? I ain't lose you, did I?
still here. I'm just doing these dishes now.
Okay. All right. Is everybody macaroni and cheese in the oven? I'm gonna take your silence as a yes. So we should have our spinach Alfredo sauce in our bread out of the oven. Now, for the bread, I'm just going to chop it. And remember, presentation is everything, right? So I usually keep like a set of white dishes, the plain white dishes. I go with everything.
You look at me like I look the same. What are you doing? Kind of like cool.
All right. So we have our Alfredo sauce and our bread. That should be done. So we can taste this. Are we tasting? Did y'all taste it? Y'all ain't taste nothing.
We know it's good.
All right, let's see what it do. That's good. Macaroni in the oven. We can start plating. We have our mixed veggies. I need to know that y'all there with me, because I can't hear you. Y'all with me?
Yep, we with you. I'm just over here hard working.
What you doing?
Hard working.
It's gonna pay off. All right. So we got our appetizer, our spinach, Alfredo sauce. We can start plating. Just get it started. We got our mixed veggies. I want to make sure y'all with me because I know it gets stressful. All right, we got our mixed veggies on the plate. We already plated up our appetizer. Your steak should be rested. We're gonna grab the steak. We're just gonna slice it against the grain. Okay. That's about how thick I sliced it. You can slice it smaller or thicker, but that's how I sliced it. About 1 inch. All right. How your mac and cheese looking? Go check it on in the oven. I need a response. How's it looking?
Good.
Okay.
It's not brown just yet, but it's getting there.
Okay.
Looks real good.
Yep.
So is there anyone that's going to continue putting eggs and macaroni and cheese?
No, I never did, but I'll never do it.
All right, you my girl. While we're waiting on that, you have your steak chopped up, well, sliced, veggies on the plate. You can do like Brianna did, start cleaning up a little bit. Has anybody tried the wine yet? Has anyone?
We don't have ours yet.
Huh?
We're still waiting on ours. We
Okay.
just put an order yesterday, so yeah.
Okay. So I ordered the peaches. It's the peach wine, and it's a white one. If you like sweet, you'll like it. It's not too strong. What does it say? Ooh. Well, it says 12.8%, 12.8%, but it doesn't feel too strong. But it's a good flavor. Very good flavor. And I got that one to pair with the appetizer. The Savannah is a red, or is it Shiraz? It's a red. That one's 13%. And I got this one to pair with the surf and turf. So it's a good pair. Let's see what that one tastes like. I haven't tried that one. If you like dry, you'll like the Shiraz. It's not too dry, perfect balance. All right, your dish is done too. All right. Okay, so the only thing we're waiting on are those mac and cheeses to come out the oven. But while we're waiting, I'm going to show you how I will plate mine. have those veggies on the side, right? We're gonna take the steak, put that right on top. I didn't have as many shrimp. And remember, shrimp on the inside of this too. Set that right on top of the steak. If you have salmon, set it right on top of the steak. If your mac and cheese is not ready, don't rush it. I'm just showing you the next step. Okay. So we have that. And remember, we had some extra of the cilantro earlier. I'm gonna take a little bit of that and sprinkle right on top. And so what I did was I still had a little bit of that lemon left over. I just sliced it. Put that right on top. If you want, where is? A little bit of the butter on top of the steak. We got plenty of butter on there, but just to make it look a little bit more fancy. All right, so when it's all said and done, why let me do that? This happens real life. All right, I got some more veggies. Look at my presentation. All right, we'll bring y'all over this time. Okay, so that's what it should look like at the end. Are we there? Are we gonna get there? We ready to party with fancy food?
Oh, look at Angela. Angela holding
Okay, yes.
the vegetarian.
Wow.
I didn't do the. I only did the shrimp because I don't eat beef or none of that. So
That's perfectly
There you go.
fine.
And I see Martine's table. Look like it's gonna get chopped and fired.
We're about to eat right now. We're starving.
What, Maxwell, you want to go to the
It
wheel?
looks so good.
Yeah.
So this is also one of those things that you can make the macaroni and cheese the night before and season prep the protein and everything, do that the night before. You can chop up the veggies if you want to do the mixed veggies. You could do that the night before and just cook everything the day of. So it doesn't take as long if you're doing a larger amount for a larger party. You can do that. Y'all fancy.
There was a request to see the chef's plate again.
Okay. Got it? I'll bring it closer to the camera too.
And please take a picture and send it to us in still form when you
Okay.
later. Don't eat yours.
I'm not. It's what? It's 11 o'clock.
That's what I was gonna say. Don't be getting on midnight snacks over there.
No. I'm trying to do better. All right. Is everyone working? Is there any questions? Concerns? Do we need to fix something?
Ryan, if you're speaking, we can't hear you. Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Sora. Laura, I think that was green. It went kind of fast. She's in New York. She said she'll have hers for breakfast tomorrow.
Okay, yeah.
And thank you. And Cornell said, I agree, this was a really great event. Thank you, ladies, for coming. Hold on, wait a minute. Ryan, what you got going on over there?
Let's see what you get.
Hold on, I'm gonna
Okay,
replace
now we're on mute on this one.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the dream team
Oh,
over there.
Yes.
Look at the
Ryan,
dream.
we coming to
You
your house.
understood the assignment, okay?
Okay. All right,
The dream team
Ryan,
in
we
the
can't
house.
get to Indiana, but we coming to your house.
Please send us pictures.
We will. We've been eating as we go. Yeah, we've been snacking.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, what are you doing? It's cool.
Talk.
Do we have anyone else?
I'm trying to see. Well, Angela showed us hers. Up, and I think I need a charger. Tammy, can you go get my computer charger quickly? And
Thank you for joining us, LS.
Thank you, Sora Green.
You're welcome, LS. I got your back.
Get some rest.
I am.
Excellent.
Oh,
Was it complicated? Was it okay? Medium?
This macaroni cheese sauce is next level. That's all.
Y'all fancy now, y'all ready?
Yeah, the dip, everything's been good. I'm excited to eat a full meal. We've been snacking this whole time. I've been dipping the vegetables in the sauce, the appetizer dip. That's been really good.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for inviting me to join you. If you have any questions, definitely check me out on Facebook. I am at Kia Can Cook on Instagram, Kia's Backyard Bistro on Facebook, or just Nakia Bonds. That's my personal page. But Tasha, I'll send you a picture of my card so you can screenshot it.
yes, I will be sending out everyone's contact that supported tonight. So please continue to support and follow. This is how we get our Black businesses up and booming. So for those in California, she actually will be catering for my kids' event in June. So if y'all want to get up close and personal, and you in Cali,
Come on through.
Madam Basilisk, are you over there eating? Because you disappeared.
No, I'm here. We just have two devices because it's easier to be in the kitchen with the
Okay,
phone.
I'm trying to find you. Hold on.
Computer.
Oh, there she goes. All
Yeah,
right.
we have two different devices working it. But I just want to thank everyone for coming out this evening and supporting our fundraiser as we raise funds for scholarship as well as for programming that we do in our community. Thank you so much, Kia, for your expertise and coming out. The food is delicious. I can't wait to rewatch the video. And even for those who are present, we'll have it posted on our YouTube page. And you go back and remake the video and have this meal prepared for the new year. It's really delicious. So just thank you everyone for coming out. We appreciate it. And I want to just thank our event chair. It was our committee of ladies who did it. We also had the chair of the event, Sora Johnson, as well as her committee, who are still on the call right now. I see Sora Miles, or who else on your committee still here? Sora Lauren. I'm like looking for everyone.
Yeah,
That's on the committee.
Denisha Lawrence.
Yes. But thank you everyone for coming out. We really appreciate it. We hope you continue to support our chapter endeavors to continue to fund our community. Thank you. Have a great night. Especially all the East Coast people.
Yes, for hanging in there to the end.
All the way to the end. Keep us posted.
Happy holidays. Thank you.
Same
Happy
to you.
holidays.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.